Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. It is a beautiful day to learn something new, not English only, but we will also discuss one of the most transformative books in personal development, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This book has sold over 40 million copies worldwide and has been translated into more than 40 languages. It has also stood the test of time, helping millions of people around the world become more effective, both in their personal lives and at work. In this comprehensive video, we'll explore each of the 7 habits in detail, provide practical examples of how they can be applied, and discuss how you can incorporate these habits into your daily life. Whether you're a business professional, a student, or anyone looking to improve your English and personal effectiveness, this video is for you. So, grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's get started. Before we dive into each habit, let's briefly discuss the overall framework of the book. The book is based on the premise that true success and effectiveness come from aligning one's values with universal and timeless principles. The author argues that quick-fix solutions and personality-based approaches to success are ultimately ineffective. Instead, he advocates for a character-based approach that focuses on developing fundamental habits that lead to long-term success and fulfillment. The 7 habits are organized into 3 categories. Firstly, independence, habits 1 to 3. These habits focus on self-mastery and moving from dependence to independence. Secondly, interdependence, habits 4 to 6. These habits deal with teamwork, cooperation, and communication. Lastly, continuous improvement, habit 7. This habit emphasizes the importance of ongoing personal and professional development. Now let's explore each habit in detail. The first habit is about taking control of your life. Be proactive. It's the foundation of all the other habits and is crucial for personal growth and effectiveness. Now, this isn't just about taking initiative, it's about taking responsibility for your actions and your responses to circumstances. Being proactive means recognizing that we are responsible for our own lives. Instead of blaming external factors for our problems or waiting for others to take action, proactive people take initiative and create positive change in their lives and surroundings. One way to understand this concept is through the language we use. Reactive language. There's nothing I can do. That's just the way I am. He makes me so mad. Proactive language. Let's look at our alternatives. I can choose a different approach. I control my own feelings. The author introduces the concept of the circle of concern and the circle of influence. The circle of concern includes everything we care about, while the circle of influence contains things we can actually do something about. Proactive people focus their efforts on their circle of influence. They work on the things they can do something about, like their health, their relationships, or their work. By focusing on these areas, they often find that their circle of influence grows over time. Let's consider following examples. Case Study 1. Sarah works in a company where morale is low due to recent budget cuts. A reactive employee might complain about the situation, spread negativity, and wait for management to fix things. Sarah, being proactive, decides to focus on what she can influence. She organizes a voluntary skills-sharing program during lunch breaks where employees can learn from each other. This not only improves skills, but also boosts morale and teamwork. Case Study 2. Alex is working on a team project and his colleague missed a deadline, putting the whole project at risk. A reactive person might blame the colleague and feel powerless to fix the situation. But a proactive person takes responsibility, not for the mistake, but for finding a solution. He might reach out to the colleague to understand what went wrong and find a way to get things back on track. Finally, in your own life, being proactive could look like choosing to focus on what you can influence. For example, instead of complaining about the weather, plan around it. Bring an umbrella or rearrange your schedule if needed. It's all about responsibility, your ability to choose your response. To apply this habit, you should, firstly, monitor your language. Catch yourself when you use reactive phrases and consciously replace them with proactive ones. Replace phrases like I can't or if only with I choose or I will. Secondly, focus on your circle of influence. Make a list of concerns, then identify which ones you can actually do something about. Concentrate your efforts on those areas. The next one is to take initiative. Don't wait for things to happen. If you see a problem, think of potential solutions and take action. Lastly, pause before responding. When faced with a challenging situation, take a moment to choose your response rather than reacting impulsively. Remember, being proactive doesn't mean you're in control of everything that happens to you, but you are in control of how you respond. The second habit, begin with the end in mind, is to create a clear vision of your desired direction and destination in life. It's based on the principle that all things are created twice, first mentally, then physically. The author uses the analogy of building a house. Before construction begins, you create detailed blueprints. Similarly, in life, you should create a clear picture of what you want to achieve before starting working towards it. Let's say you're starting a new business. Instead of just jumping into the daily grind of tasks, step back and ask yourself, what is the ultimate goal of this business? Maybe it's financial freedom, creating jobs in your community, or offering innovative products that change people's lives. Once you have that clear picture, you'll find it much easier to make decisions that align with your vision. In personal life, let's consider health. If your long-term goal is to live a healthy, vibrant life, begin by defining what that looks like for you: regular exercise, a balanced diet, and stress management. With this vision in mind, making choices in the present becomes more intentional. One of the key exercises recommended is to create a personal mission statement. Try this. Write your mission statement. What do you want to be remembered for? This will help guide your decisions and actions. This is a written document that articulates your values, goals, and purpose in life. It's like a personal constitution that guides your decisions and actions. Consider the story of Elon Musk. Long before Tesla became a successful company, Musk had a clear vision: to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. This vision guided his decisions, from developing electric cars to creating solar roof tiles. By beginning with the end in mind, Musk was able to overcome numerous challenges and setbacks. The author suggests identifying your various roles, for example, individual, spouse, parent, professional, and setting goals for each. This ensures a balanced approach to life and helps you focus on what's truly important. To apply this habit, you can consider firstly, create your personal mission statement. Reflect on your values, what you want to achieve, and how you want to be remembered. Secondly, identify your key roles and set goals for each. Thirdly, visualize your ideal future. Spend time each day imagining your desired outcomes. Finally, before starting any significant project or making a major decision, clearly define what success looks like. By beginning with the end in mind, you can ensure that your daily activities are aligned with your goals, dreams, and even your legacy. You can avoid the trap of working hard to climb the ladder of success only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall. Habit 3 is where the first two habits come together. If Habit 1 says, you're the creator, and Habit 2 says, create a blueprint, then this habit, put things first, says, build your life according to that blueprint. The author introduces the time management matrix, a tool for prioritizing tasks based on their importance and urgency. The matrix has 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is urgent and important, crises, pressing problems. The second quadrant is not urgent but important, planning, prevention, relationship building. The next quadrant is urgent but not important, interruptions, some calls. The final quadrant of 4 is not urgent and not important, trivial busy work, time wasters. The author argues that we should focus most of our time on Quadrant 2 activities, which are important but not urgent. These often relate to long-term goals, relationship building, and personal development. Let's consider a manager named Bill. He used to spend most of his time dealing with urgent matters, Quadrant 1, and felt constantly stressed and overwhelmed. After learning about the time management matrix, he started dedicating time each week to Quadrant 2 activities: strategic planning for his department, mentoring his team members, and improving systems and processes. Over time, Bill found that many crises were prevented. His team became more self-reliant, and he had more time for important but not urgent tasks. The author uses the analogy of filling a jar with rocks, pebbles, and sand. If you put the sand and pebbles in first, there's no room for the big rocks. But if you put the big rocks in first, the pebbles and sand can fill in around them. In life, our big rocks are our most important priorities. By scheduling these first, we ensure they get done, and the smaller tasks can fit in around them. To apply this habit, you may: 1. Use the time management matrix to analyze how you currently spend your time. 2. Identify your big rocks, your most important priorities. 3. Schedule your big rocks first. Block out time in your calendar for important but not urgent activities. 4. Learn to say no to unimportant activities even if they seem urgent. And 5. Regularly review and adjust your priorities. Remember, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. With Habit 4, we move from personal victory to public victory. Think win-win is about seeking mutual benefit in all human interactions. It's not about being nice, it's about being effective. The habit is based on the abundance mentality, the idea that there's plenty out there for everyone, as opposed to the scarcity mentality, which assumes that for one person to win, another must lose. The author identifies 6 paradigms of human interaction. Win-win is the first one. The second one is win-lose. The next one is lose-win. Fourthly, it is lose-lose. Following with that is win. And the last one is win-win or no deal. The author advocates for striving for win-win or no deal, where if a mutually beneficial solution can't be found, we agree to disagree agreeably. No deal. He emphasizes that win-win is based on character, not technique. It requires integrity, sticking with your true feelings, values, and commitments. Maturity, expressing your ideas and feelings with courage and consideration for others. Abundance, mentality, believing there is plenty for everyone. Let's take an example on the collaborative negotiation. 2 companies, A and B, are negotiating a contract. A win-lose approach might involve Company A trying to squeeze every possible concession from Company B. In a win-win approach, both companies would seek to understand each other's needs and work together to find a solution that benefits both parties. For instance, Company A might agree to a slightly lower price in exchange for a longer-term contract, providing stability. Company B might offer additional services to justify the price they need. By thinking win-win, they create a stronger, more sustainable partnership. And here are how to apply this habit in reality. Firstly, in your next negotiation or conflict, consciously look for solutions that benefit all parties. The following one is to practice empathy. Try to truly understand the other person's needs and perspective. Thirdly, develop an abundance mentality. Recognize that there's enough success to go around. Finally, be willing to walk away if a genuine win-win can't be reached, win-win or no deal. Remember, thinking win-win isn't about being nice or giving in. It's about being effective and creating sustainable solutions. The 5th habit, crucial for effective communication. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Most people listen with the intent to reply rather than to understand. This habit is about listening empathetically, putting yourself in the other person's shoes before offering your thoughts. Empathic listening involves listening with the ears, the eyes, and the heart. It's about trying to genuinely understand the other person's frame of reference and feelings. The author identifies 4 levels of listening: ignoring, pretending, selective listening, and attentive listening. But he argues we need to go beyond these to empathic listening. The author uses the analogy of psychological air. Just as we need physical air to survive, we need psychological air, feeling understood and valued in our relationships. When we give others this psychological air through empathic listening, we create an environment where real communication can occur. Here is an example on the understanding manager. Let's imagine a scenario where an employee, Ben, approaches his manager, Anna, about feeling overwhelmed with his workload. A typical response might be to immediately offer solutions or dismiss the concern. Instead, Anna practices empathic listening. Anna:
It sounds like you're feeling stressed about your current workload. Can you tell me more about what's causing this feeling?
Ben explains his specific challenges. Anna listens attentively, asking clarifying questions and reflecting back what she hears to ensure understanding. Anna:
So, if I understand correctly, you're struggling with the new project deadlines while also managing your regular tasks. You're concerned about maintaining quality in your work. Is that right?
Ben:
Yes, exactly. I want to do a good job, but I feel like I'm spread too thin.
By seeking first to understand, Anna creates an environment where Ben feels heard. This allows them to work together more effectively to find a solution. In personal life, let's say your partner comes to you stressed about something at work. Rather than offering solutions right away, pause and listen. Understand their emotions before responding. The author calls this empathetic listening, and it can transform how you connect with others. Once you've truly understood the other person, it's important to be understood yourself. The author emphasizes the need to present your ideas clearly, specifically, visually, and most importantly, contextually, in the context of a deep understanding of the other person's needs and concerns. And here are how to apply this habit in reality. Firstly, in your next conversation, focus entirely on understanding the other person. Resist the urge to prepare your response while they're speaking. Secondly, practice reflecting back what you've heard to ensure understanding. After that, pay attention to nonverbal cues, tone of voice, body language, etc. And finally, when it's your turn to speak, present your ideas in the context of the other person's concerns and needs. Remember, when we listen with the intent to understand others, rather than with the intent to reply, we begin true communication and relationship building. Habit 6 is all about teamwork and collaboration. Synergize. It's the idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This habit is about valuing differences and bringing together diverse strengths to create new possibilities. The author describes synergy as the highest activity in all life, the true test and manifestation of all the other habits put together. It's about creating new alternatives and opening new possibilities. Synergy thrives on differences. When we genuinely seek to understand and value others' perspectives, we can create solutions that are better than what any individual could have come up with alone. Just to give an example, this is a product development team at a tech company. The team consists of a visionary designer with big ideas, a practical engineer focused on feasibility, a finance expert concerned about costs, and a marketing specialist who understands customer needs. Initially, their different perspectives might lead to conflicts. The designer might propose ideas that the engineer sees as impractical. The finance expert might reject proposals as too expensive, frustrating the marketing specialist who sees customer demand. To overcome these challenges, they apply the principles of synergy. Firstly, they start by seeking to understand each other's perspectives. Habit 5. Secondly, they look for win-win solutions. Habit 4. Lastly, they focus on their shared goals. Habit 2. Through this process, they might come up with an innovative product that 1. Incorporates the designer's vision, 2. Uses the engineer's expertise to make it feasible, 3. Meets the finance expert's cost requirements, and 4. Satisfies customer needs identified by the marketing specialist. The result is a product that's better than any one team member could have created alone. That's synergy in action. The author outlines a process for achieving synergy. 1. Define the problem or opportunity. 2. Their way, seek to understand others' views. 3. My way, seek to be understood. 4. Brainstorm, create new options and ideas. And 5. Highway, find the best solution. To apply this habit, you may, in your next team meeting or family discussion, actively seek out different viewpoints. Instead of seeing differences as obstacles, view them as opportunities for creative solutions. Practice brainstorming without judgment. Encourage wild ideas. They often lead to innovative solutions. Look for opportunities to bring together people with diverse skills and perspectives. When faced with a conflict, ask yourself, how can we use this difference to create a better solution? In your personal life, this could be as simple as working together with your partner or family to achieve a common goal. Maybe you're planning a family vacation. One person could handle the budgeting, while another could plan the itinerary. By valuing each other's contributions, you create a better outcome. Remember, synergy isn't about compromise where everyone gives up something. It's about creating new possibilities that everyone feels good about. And finally, we come to habit 7, sharpen the saw. This habit is all about self-renewal. The author uses the metaphor of a woodcutter who's so busy cutting down trees that he doesn't take the time to sharpen his saw, making the work harder and less effective over time. Sharpening the saw means regularly taking time to renew yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The author breaks this habit down into 4 dimensions of renewal. 1. Physical, exercise, nutrition, stress management. 2. Mental, reading, visualizing, planning, writing. 3. Social or emotional, service, empathy, synergy, intrinsic security. And 4. Spiritual, value clarification and commitment, study and meditation. The author uses the analogy of a saw cutting through a log. If we focus only on sawing and never take time to sharpen the saw, we become less and less effective. Similarly, if we neglect any of these 4 areas of our life, we become less effective overall. This is Amy, a successful executive who used to work 80-hour week, neglecting her health, relationships, and personal growth. Despite her hard work, she found herself burning out and her performance suffering. Recognizing the need for change, she began by setting aside time each week for self-renewal in 4 key areas. Physical. Amy started a regular exercise routine, incorporating 30-minute workouts 3 times a week. She also prioritized getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night and improved her diet. Mental. She dedicated 30 minutes daily to reading industry publications and books on leadership, expanding her knowledge and skills. Social or emotional. Amy scheduled weekly date nights with her partner and made time for catch-ups with friends. She also began practicing mindfulness meditation for 10 minutes each morning. Spiritual. She joined a local community group, volunteering once a month, which helped her feel more connected to a larger purpose. By consistently applying these practices, Amy noticed significant improvements in her overall well-being and professional performance. Her energy levels increased, her decision-making improved, and she felt more creative and motivated at work. Despite reducing her working hours, her productivity actually increased, and she found herself better equipped to handle workplace challenges. To apply this, you may consider these following steps. 1. Assess your current state. Evaluate how you're currently investing in each of the 4 dimensions: physical, mental, social or emotional, and spiritual. 2. Set goals. Identify specific areas for improvement in each dimension. 3. Create a plan. Develop a realistic schedule that incorporates activities for each dimension. 4. Start small. Begin with manageable changes and gradually increase your commitment. 5. Be consistent. Make these activities a regular part of your routine. 6. Track progress. Monitor how these changes affect your overall well-being and performance. And 7. Adjust as needed. Be flexible and willing to modify your approach based on what works best for you. Remember, the 7th habit, sharpen the saw, is about continuous self-improvement and balance. By investing in your physical, social, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being, you're ensuring that you can sustain your effectiveness in the long run. It's not just about working hard, but also about working smart and taking care of yourself. So, take some time to reflect on how you can incorporate this habit into your daily life. That brings us to the end of our short summary of Stephen Covey's influential book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. We've explored each of the 7 habits and discussed how they can profoundly impact our personal and professional lives. It should be noted that becoming highly effective isn't about quick fixes or surface-level changes. It's about fundamentally shifting our paradigms and developing character-based habits that align with universal and timeless principles. Whether you're working on being proactive, beginning with the end in mind, putting first things first, thinking win-win, seeking first to understand, synergizing, or sharpening the saw, each habit builds on the others to help you become your best self. Which habit resonated with you the most, and how do you plan to apply it in your life? We'd love to hear from you. We hope this summary has inspired you to go to the book itself to read up on each habit in more detail. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more content to improve both your English skills and your personal development. See you in our next video and enjoy your beautiful day.